Hello everyone, and welcome in to Sunday here on the channel. I am your friendly neighborhood Prax. This is the channel. It is another one of our wonderful flashback episodes for Romance of the Blue Rose, and you can see right here there is a very charming individual who's seated next to me. Say hello for the audience at home, Simon.
Hello.
And who are you playing? All those good
Oh,
things.
okay. You
Chill.
want me to?
Yeah,
Oh,
I want you
hi.
to. I want you to talk.
Hi, everyone. I'm Simon, otherwise known as Wandering DM, and of course tonight I am playing once again Vashard Valley, though a younger Vashard. Back in 317 BR, which I don't remember exactly how many years ago it was for the game, but anyway.
3 years before the start of the game time.
Oh, 3 years before the game. All right. So there's me, and there's, of course, Asen, my good pupper, who will make an appearance as soon as I set up the virtual background for it.
Hashtag best pupper. By the way, we do have those emotes in chat because of, MVP puppers. And see, Trooper's concerned about you. I see that Trooper's concerned about you because he decided to grant you a conviction point, so you're up to 2.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, thank you, Trooper.
That'll be
I need
good.
to write that somewhere.
But like, welcome. It is. Oh, look, and Hawkeye's giving you one too. It's. I wonder why they're concerned. I really don't know why. It's not like we're gonna flash back to the time that Kern invaded Aldous and almost conquered the country. The Lich King and his armies moving south. And technically southwest. Sweeping over the Icebinder Mountains, through the Pavenweald, towards the plains of Aldous and the Rose River. But we're starting a little, well, not with the army. Vashard isn't a member of the army. He's an envoy of the Sovereign's finest. And although the finest fight and defend Aldous against threats, foreign, domestic, supernatural, they don't stand toe-to-toe with an army and do it. But we're going to pan down to a small clearing just behind enemy lines in the Pavenweald, northwest of Tanglewood. The trees are dense and thick, and while the army of Kern marches south and west, it takes them a while to get through trees. They don't have a rich forest, an old forest like this in Kern. One where the trees are said to be alive some days. It's slow going for them. But the clouds reach across and cover the sky to provide safe harbor and travel for those who serve the dark sorceress powers of the Lich King. You've been hiding out, moving through the lines, taking, well, troop movements, numbers, disrupting supply chains as you could. You've gotten almost used to hearing the cries of the wyverns. You haven't seen them. You've only heard them. Everyone has at this point. But you're not alone. The envoys of the finest don't travel alone. Who do you travel with?
At this point in time, I believe my patrol is comprised of course, Asen, myself, Nazan, who is an adept, and Machi Koldor, who is sort of our scout or vanguard, I should say, because our scout, of course, who takes to the sky, is none other than my good friend Russ.
But he can't be with you all the time. Sometimes it's a little hard for, well, to keep track of a very nimble and agile Rhyhawk in the air. He's currently moving south and east, following a squadron that you requested him to provide, because as long as he can have contact, he knows where you are. He can send a message to you at least. You don't need to see each other for a while. But it's dark and cold. It's odd. It's late autumn, but it's still somehow colder than it should be. Chill feels more inside your bones and your soul. It aches, even though you don't see your breath in the air. You've been working, hiding. You know that somewhere in these woods is a commander of the Kernish army. But he hides so well from you. You've banked the fire for the night. What do you do?
We're looking for this leader. What do we know so far of him? Or them?
From what you've heard from the rumors of the people who run in fear from them as they move south? Or what you've seen with your own eyes?
I would go with both. Because that'll determine, how, more or less how we're gonna plan our next day.
The people, the people of the Pavenweald. They're hardy frontier folk. Some might even say curmudgeonly. Don't take to outsiders well. For all that they are welcoming to guests. There are those whose family have lived in the Pavenweald for 2 generations, who might still be considered guests. They don't scare easy. But this person, all they can say about them is they're tall. They ride a horse, dark, black. Seems to suck the very light and greenness from the forest around it. full heavy plate armor, a mask like a skull, sword as tall as a man. They wield one-handed. Few have seen that sword and lived. More have seen that sword and died. They say there's an army that marches behind him, an entire company. But this person doesn't need that company. They just follow behind in their wake. You know that entire villages have been destroyed. Percentage of the population has escaped. Maybe 10, 15 at the most in some. But they're salting and burning behind them as they go. You've not seen this person, just the tracks and trails of their devastation. Burned out villages, large swaths of trees that are 200-300 years old, knocked down, burned. Some look like they've been struck by dark lightning. You can smell the corruption of sorcery in the land.
And God, which direction were they heading towards?
They're marching south into all this. But if you want to be more particular about it, I can do that. So let's say you are right here.
Okay.
And you seem to have seen them, you know, going like this. In that general direction.
Okay.
Coming over the Icebinder Mountains. Through a small pass, you think, you hope. Although, there's rumors that the Lich King's sorceress adepts have opened giant portals and are just marching entire swaths of the army through them.
So, looking at the path of destruction that they've carved, do they seem like they've been seeking out settlements to raid? Like they're doing it on purpose?
Oh, yay, we get to roll. I'm gonna make you roll for this one, I'm sorry.
No problem.
Because in this case, where is it? I would say if you have military lore, or you could use nature lore. There'll be a slightly different DVs, but they'll tell you, and they might tell you two different things.
Okay. You said military lore or
Nature lore.
I have neither. So that would be just straight intelligence.
Straight intelligence. If you want to try perception tracking, it'd be a much higher DV, but you might get something.
Okay, I'll go with tracking because at least I know I have like a bit.
13.
No, wait. 15.
15, because it didn't add the focus. Yeah, 15,
Yeah.
which is much better. With a 15, you know that the path they're following is the path of least resistance from where they came from towards the cities in the plains. But at the same time, there are towns that would have been possibly just off of their path that they didn't avoid. Like, they could have avoided, but they didn't, kind of thing. So they're not going out of their way to burn every single town in the entire section of the Pavan Weald systematically. But they're not avoiding ones that could have been easily avoided. Both ones that are directly in their path and ones that might be slightly, like, say, a half day or a day's march off of that path.
Okay. And where are the closest settlements? Like, if we follow this trajectory, because I'm thinking of telling the squad, tomorrow we're getting up bright and early, and we'll try to reach one of these settlements before this Skull Knight reaches the place.
The closest is probably just southwest of where you are, following the river.
Okay.
Maybe half day from where you're camping tonight. If that.
All right.
You could press it and get there sooner.
Because we need to warn them. We need to evacuate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking we'll do. So I'll let both Nazen and Machi know that, early tomorrow, sunrise, even before if we can make it, we're going to follow the river south. We'll try to get there before the Kernish army, or at least this one person, gets there. Evacuate the place, and if we have time, maybe try to set up an ambush. But I'd rather make sure everyone is safe than, risking our lives for no reason. So long as we're alive, we can keep track of that person. If we die, it'll be like they were invisible.
They both nod. It's been a long weeks, almost.
Mm-hmm.
You can still hear the cries of the wyverns in the air. Smell the smoke. Blood. You can't avoid it anymore. Can you roll me willpower faith or willpower self-discipline? Either one.
It's gonna be faith. Hey, that actually works with everything. So 10.
That's good enough, at least for right now. Well, I'll let you decide how this works for you, but you have this moment of looking around as the other two kind of drift off into light dozes, not really going all the way to sleep, prepared to move at a moment's notice. You feel this chill in the air that's both cold, but something just pricks at the outside of your mind and then moves away.
I'm gonna put up my psychic shield.
I think that might be a good idea. Remembering, of course, that you can always talk to Asen through your psychic shield. You can't talk to anyone else through it.
Well, I can't talk telepathically to anyone, period.
Well, no one can talk to you.
No, but what I mean is, like, regardless, I don't have the arcana for it.
I know. No one can talk to you. Just little things. Thanks. But it's going to be a long night, a restless one. How do you sleep? How do you feel?
I mean, I think there's been a general feeling of fear this whole time, regardless. The only thing that keeps, at least speaking for Vashard, the only thing that keeps me moving is the fact that I know that our work and even just our presence north of all this, like, is all that is needed to give the rest of the kingdom a chance. Without us in the mountains, we'd lose sight of a lot of Kernish movement. And so to Vashard, it's more of a, knowing that he will die in the line of duty, but just trying to keep going for as long as possible, because that will give us, greater chances of winning. So he's more careful than he usually is, or usually will be. But yeah, he doesn't sleep well necessarily at night.
Day dawns, although the light isn't as bright as it usually is this time of year. You can make your way south along the river. Is there a particular order you happen to travel in? Just asking for reasons.
I think, so given our respective, positions, Machi would be first, a couple of yards away from us. Enough that we can see her, because we're keeping our eyes on her.
And that's really the only reason you can see her.
But yeah, it's also so that, if she hears or sees something, she can dart off, investigate, come back, and so the moment we see Machi disappear from our sight, we just hunker down. Otherwise, order, I think Nazan and myself would be walking side by side, with Asen either farther away to my right or to Nazan's left, basically like circling around us, if he can.
Mm-hmm.
Surveilling at least one of our flanks.
Yep. It's not hard to move. You've all moved through these woods before. You feel a sense of urgency now. But the terrain isn't giving you any delay. Machi moves quietly. Silently almost. Just enough that more to let you hear her, because she knows exactly how far that sound will travel. Can you roll me perception seeing?
Yes. That's true. I suck at seeing. Haha!
8.
I'm gonna use a conviction point.
You can use a conviction point. You're going to use one of the conviction points that Chuck so kindly granted you.
I'll begin by going through what chat gives me in their magnanimous generosity. To roll something slightly better. 12.
A 12 is much better in this game. You are moving through. It's quiet. Machi has... You see just a moment before, as Machi slows just a step and then disappears. She didn't signal point. You.
Oh. I will reach out telepathically to Asen. She's gone. Can you go check? Be careful. And I'll just motion to Nazen to, like, crouch down or stay low, and I'll do the same myself.
It's quiet. Nazen doesn't really... He can provide some assistance, combat. I mean, you're a forward-moving unit of scouts, but he is here as a healer. And sometimes that means he's much more important as a backup than to cast cast fireball. Hashtag protect your clerics. But he can do some, but he will stop the moment you do. Could you roll me perception for your pupper?
Definitely. Mason, get over here. Oh. He is going to go with I think he defaults to smelling first.
Yeah, whichever perception you choose to give him.
That's an 18 with 6 stun points.
Ooh, very nice. He moves silently. A wolf makes no noise in the woods if they do not wish to. And Asen doesn't wish to at the moment. you see him move through. He's not trying to hide from you so much, you know, making sure to stay in your line of sight, but slinking through the shadows, moving in and out of direct line of vision, more as a protection against anyone else than anything else. He stops. And you get the... If a wolf can do a huh? Is kind of what you get back from Mason. And he starts backing up, that canine backup movement where they're backing all the way up and like their tail kind of curls in behind them, but they're not really afraid. They're just moving their tail out of the way so they don't step on it. But it's... If you've never seen a dog back up just because, it's very interesting. I don't know what this is all you get back from Mason.
I'll just tell him, get back here.
Mm-hmm.
And once Asen reach us, I'll go and look at what's going on.
You can see just the valley and the village that should be here in front of you, just awash in dark, roiling smoke, but not smoke from a fire. It's moves. There are flashes of light within it. You see figures moving within it. And it smells of... A moment later, you can actually smell it. It smells like... Not sulfur, and not even rotten eggs, but that metallic taste of blood, but with that charged feeling of ozone from just before a lightning storm. Machi is not far from where you're standing, just outside this swath of roiling shadow, collapsed on the ground.
Without a moment's hesitation, I'll motion to Nazin to come. I'll point him to Machi's body, and I'll just whisper, like as he moves past me, I don't know if she's alive.
He moves silently. And he... Younger than you by maybe a couple of years, but not by much. He has the features of someone from the Khanate. Raisin.
Okay.
Narrowed, slanted eyes, Asian in perception. Long, black hair, bound tightly around. He wears the white and blue robes of the Medicarius, of the Sovereign's finest. And he carries a sword. Also on occasion been known to, in better days, be slightly flirtatious with people who happen to stand still. Not that he frequently follows through with it, usually as an attitude of, Well, let's see what you'll do when you have a little bit of fun. That kind of boisterous Joker nature is not present as he moves up, the healer in full front and action. But he keeps a hand on both the sword at his belt and the staff in his hand. And as he reaches her, he doesn't touch her. So what I'm going to do is the same thing I've been doing for everyone else. I'm going to let you do all the rolling for your NPCs.
Okay.
If they're spells or things, I will add like focus bonus for them for spells, but just let you do general rolling, just because it's easier. So why don't you go ahead and roll perception, and we'll give him a bonus of a focus. If you happen to have a focus in perception, just roll whichever focus and perception you happen to have.
I have tracking.
It doesn't matter, it's mathematically the same. We're just using it for the roll. Ooh.
Sure. 14.
As he begins to examine her again without touching, you feel this. He's focused, diligent, and you hear whispered. He begins to back up slightly. You hear whispered to you, not far, as he kind of kneels between the two of you. It looks like something grabbed her throat and jerked her to the ground. But like a rope or something.
If I look around, do I see any ropes? Like a trap that she would have sprung?
Nope.
And that, you said there were like inky darkness?
Smoke. Roiling smoke, colors flashing in it, green, like an acid green. Dark.
And is it
purples. And you see figures moving beyond it.
And how far away is it?
From where Machi is lying?
Yeah.
2.5 feet.
I'll get closer to that smoke.
Oh, it's not hard. It almost takes over the entire valley that you should be seeing a village. You can't see any of it. Nazin is moving Machi away from, carefully supporting her neck and back. As you pass each other, it's very obvious to see like this band of purpling bruising around her neck.
Any other wounds?
Nothing that you see as you move her, as he moves her. But he's told you that she hit her, like, she hit the ground, so he's assuming some level of bruising and possibly, like, whiplash. That's why he's moving her so carefully.
Okay, but so she would have been hit probably, like, clotheslined.
Or somebody wrapped around her neck and jerked her to the ground.
Mm-hmm. The way she fell.
Mm-hmm.
Did she fall closer to the shadow, as if something reached out of the shadow to grab her and then
pull her
pull-
in.
Yeah.
No, but she didn't fall backwards either. She fell almost to the side.
Okay. Hmm. How in the open are we?
You are just the point where the trees break, where you're pretty sure that this is where the village, well, the path into it should be. But you're right at the tree line.
Okay. I'll ask Nazen. Can we move Machi out of eyesight? Right now we're in the open, and I don't trust there to be no wyverns following this soldier knight.
I don't like the open either. Yeah, we can move her. Careful though. And he will begin to move her very carefully, in case she has any injuries. Off behind into the trees, out of sight. What do you do?
I want to take a look at the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
I know there should be a village. But I also want to know if I see anything, like, so I don't see the village.
Nope.
But do I see anything else in that strange, shadowy smoke thing?
You can roll me perception.
2 seconds. Uh, 11.
You see almost like a figure moving, something with substance, much more than just smoke or obscuring smoke as it's been, but something that with mass moving behind it, through it.
How big does it seem to be? Like, are we talking it's something with mass, or just it's something solid? Like, am I looking at a giant shadow creature that could possibly be hiding in there, or is it just it's hiding the movement of I don't know, like maybe like a person?
They're moving in an upright fashion, you're thinking? Perhaps something on 2 legs?
Okay.
It's not like a giant, but it's not small.
Okay. All right.
Can you roll me either history or culture? Or intelligence skills.
Cultural lore?
Yes.
That would be a 12.
You are looking at this almost matches what you've heard described. You've never seen it, but you know those who have. Usually the finest aren't called out to deal with this. This is the Knights of the Blue Rose are summoned. Or maybe even the purest Knights of Jazan. These are... It's almost like it's a Shadow Baron. Home of the Shadow Spawn. Creatures created by the sorceress kings of old, before the restoration of Aldous. This shouldn't be here.
I'll go back to Machi and Nazen. We have a problem.
Nazin looks up at you where he's like put a his hands are slightly glowing, oddly like a rich mahogany red, not blood red, but that red of a really ripe fruit. As his hands kind of glow around her throat as he kneels at her head, and her long brown hair is pulled up in a way. He looks, raises an eyebrow at you as if to say, "We have just one."
Sorry, out of game. How did you call that thing again?
Shadow Spawn and a Shadow Baron?
Okay, Baron, you mean like Baron?
Yes.
Okay.
As in, you know that they can cause shadow-tainted lands, similar to like a big chunk of like the Shadow Barons south of Jaren, between Jaren and Weiss. You know.
You say that, and I'm looking at the world map.
If you look at the world map and you pull all the way out.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Oh yeah, okay.
Big swath of basically picture a nuclear bomb went off and there's nothing grows there, and nothing will grow there, and it's a big shadowy mess created by the sorcerer kings to control and twist and warp populations and towns and lands. Experiments gone wrong. It stinks of corruption.
Seems like our knight friend isn't alone. We have a shadow spawn on our hands.
What?
I'll point to where the shadows were. Would I know the name of that village?
Yes, but it wasn't really a village. It was like a hamlet, a glorified estate for like interrelated clan of individuals. Give me a second.
But like, anyway, I'm just going to say like this is where whatever village was supposed to be. Now there's just a shadow spawn. Something doesn't sit right with me. And I think that whatever this undead knight is doing wherever he's going, I think that's the result of what happens. Either that or that's the precursor.
I don't think we're prepared to deal with Shadow Spawn, Vashard. I will march with you through the gates to fight corruption eternally, but I don't have. I will stand with you in defense, but I don't think I can put that down.
Then we need to find a way to warn others. Would I know where, where's the army at the moment? Or if not the army itself, other groups of the Sovereign's Finest?
The army itself, the army and the Knights of the Rose are created a front. I'm going to use blue. Just at the base of the mountain range here. Effectively trying to make a giant front here.
And that's relatively far away, though, is it?
Yes. From where you guys are? Oh, about 80 miles.
Are there any other settlements between here and the front?
No, the ones that you passed were they evacuated out. Because again, the front is going to move slower, moving a giant army, battalion, cavalry, horses.
No, that's
chain.
normal. I just want to make sure that the Shadow Beast is not going to keep going south on a rampage. Like, if there's nothing until the army, we can warn the army, and that's it. We don't have to go through, like, other settlements and try to evacuate them.
Tracking.
$17.
You know there are no settlements, but you do know of you've heard of at least 2 individuals who have, well, for lack of a better term, hermitages out here.
Okay.
One are pretty sure is not currently nearby. Revka is, well, you know of her, and you know that Russ recruited her. And you're pretty sure you heard that, well, she's not here. You know, heard that Russ asked her to move to one of the southern forward stations to get some more information from a couple of the night people and who were serving in the army of Kern. So you know that Revka's, although her house is here, she's not.
Okay.
But you do know of another small, more farmstead than real settlement. Just southeast of where you are.
Then we're gonna need to get there ASAP.
Can you roll me intelligence? Do you have any intelligence focuses?
Just culture.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and roll that, and we'll use that for his healing, for Nazen's healing. That works. As you're thinking about this, and you've explained this, Nazen's hands have stopped glowing, and Machi begins to blink and then freezes before she shakes her head and looks up at the two of you, kind of assessing for a moment.
Machi, is everything alright? Can you stand?
She doesn't respond to that verbally, but she does stand up, and she's pulled a long dagger or a short knife, your pick on what it actually is. Like a kodachi. And is holding it blade out in her left hand backwards. And she's staring at you and Zen like she can't quite recognize you.
I'll just, again, repeat. Machi, can you understand me? And I'll look very quickly around, like without keeping her in my line of sight, but just assessing that there's no like direct threat, let's say, behind me or anything. And if that's the case, I'll just tell her, like, if there's nothing, like, drop your weapon. You're among friends.
A quick glance around shows that there is, you know, Asen is not warned you of anyone else around. And I'm sticking with that 18 until I ask for him to do another roll, because basically he's on guard duty. He MVP Pupper is very concerned. He is pulling a concern. He looks to each around, or she's looking around. You can do a quick glance. There's nothing immediately there.
Okay.
And the minute you say you're among friends, she's still questioning. You can roll me a persuasion.
I can try.
You can definitely try. You can always try. There are 4 conviction points from chat here. I'm just telling you.
I know. But
Chat has been very kind.
Conviction is my reroll stuff, so.
Also keeps you from dying.
Yeah, but I also have 6 convictions right now. Like, to myself. So, wait, persuasion is communication.
12. She shifts so that she's got both you and Zen in front of her, and she's still holding the kodachi with blade out backwards. But she shifted it slightly. Instead of her arm being straight across as a defensive blocking motion, she shifted her elbow downwards and has slowly kind of moved it closer to her side. She's listening to you, but she's definitely not putting the weapon away again yet.
Looking at Nazen, I'll ask, can you do anything about that?
He kind of looks at you and gives you that look of like, oh, you giving me permission? Oh, I get to have fun now. You know, that level of basically picture Fred or George Weasley as if you just told them that they could play any prank that they wanted. Probably both. You're slightly worried. It's just that, oh, what have I done kind of moment before you realize that this is actually necessary. I'm gonna go ahead and roll for Nazen in this one, because I'm going to use the stats for the, because you don't have the intelligence bonus, so this way I can just do it this way. a 14. I did not roll as well as I usually do, but still good enough. He kind of smirks, and with his left hand still on his staff, he just kind of goes and flips the tip of the staff up, and so that it strikes out. You just see this quick flash of light from the crystal in the tip at Machi, and can you roll me your sword, your long swordsmanship for Machi? Because she's going to try and use that Kadachi to knock whatever.
15.
Oh, which beats that 14. So she's going to knock that little bolt of light to the side as she sidesteps, and now she's got the weapon up and is looking at the two of you much more aggressively.
Machi, put the weapon down. That's an order. And I'll look again to, like, side glance to Nazen. I don't know what you're trying to pull. All I want to know is if she's affected by magic right now.
All I was going to try and do was put this, knock her out a little bit and possibly dispel any magic, and so, wasn't like I was doing anything really mean. You're judging me, and I feel like I'm, and he starts to stand up, and he's being a little bit louder as he does so, and he's like, I am a professional, I should be respected for my skills and abilities.
Quit shouting.
And as he does so, he gestures with his left hand, again, with the staff. Again, he's being obviously over the top, and as he does so, he gestures with his left hand at Machi again. So let's see if he can do any better this time. Oh, but a 22 is going to be much better. Do you want to roll that blade for her?
Yeah. 20.
With a 22, he still wins, although, And as he does so, that moment, that brief loudness, and you're obvious upset at this, and this acts as a quasi-distraction, just enough that that small bolt of energy just strikes her, and you both see this shattering of energy, and Machi collapses. And roll me perception, and then have Asen roll me perception. And your perception will be for both you and Nazen.
I will use a point of conviction.
Mm-hmm.
And I will keep the 18.
Okay. And roll for Pupper.
Yeah, you'll keep the 12.
Asen is diligently keeping an eye on the outside. As you and Nazen are focused on Machi at the moment, he's keeping an eye on your flank, as it were, making sure no one sneaks up on you. But you both see this small wisp of smoke. Black, and then green, and then purple, and then black to black, just kind of escape out of Machi as she collapses to the ground, and then dissipates in the air.
She dissipates in the air?
No, this wisp of smoke dissipates.
Okay.
She's still there, and starts coughing, and is like, you can hear her like loud, like that level of coughing, like you had smoke inhalation, and is like is kneeling up on her hands and knees, and is like trying to, like with smoke inhalation, cough, vomit whatever's in your lungs up. And
okay.
She has dropped the Kadachi, and her hand, she's too busy at this moment. And Nazen is looking at you like, am I...
Are you better?
She's still coughing, and it's that waving at you level of coughing that she can't quite communicate, but she's acknowledging what you said and acknowledging that, yes, maybe for a given value. I mean, I'm still coughing vehemently and you want me to talk right now. Admittedly, that's a mood I've had many, many times.
Do you remember anything from the last few moments?
Yeah. There's a big frickin' black swirly thing. And it's mean. Also, Nazen shot me. And there's that moment, there's that slow realization as she said, she realizes it as she says it, recognition comes as she says it, and she just turns and is glaring at Nazen.
He did what needed to be done, given your situation.
Fine. You're right. And she's kind of slowly standing up and picked the Kodachi up as she does and slides it back in the sheath behind her back from her left side. So, that was a thing.
How are you doing?
Do you remember the last time we went drinking with the, those miners outside of, Myrith?
Yeah. What's got to do with it?
I had less of a hangover then. Also, I think there are currently 4 of you. And she kind of reaches out and is poking, and then pokes the middle of your chest.
Okay. At least it's not because you're seeing something that we can't. All right. Do you remember hearing or seeing anything before you were knocked out?
I caught a glimpse of black, creepy thing, was about to signal to you all, and then nothing.
Okay. To catch you up to speed, whatever it is that did this to you, and I'll just step aside so she can see the field behind us. Shadow spawn. Where the hamlet used to be.
Grand! So creepy night dude who wipes out villages by himself and shadow spawn. You bring me to all the best places, Vashard.
Um. Yes. Well, that was not necessarily on the itinerary. I don't see creepy Skull Knight anywhere. And if whatever happened to you is due to this field, we can't just waltz in either. There's a farmstead past the field on our way to the front. We need to warn the people there. Because that thing is probably coming for them. If it's not that thing, it's the Skull Knight. They need to be evacuated before we take the fight to either of them.
All right. Well, I think my job is apparent then, finding us a way around creepy blackness so I don't end up strangled and unconscious and apparently threatening you all with a dagger again.
Yes. We'll give this place a wide berth.
You owe me a drink, she says as she walks by, like clapping you on the shoulder.
I didn't knock you out. Nazin did. Nazin owes you a drink.
You told him to, she just says as she keeps walking.
I actually didn't. I didn't.
Nazin looks at you like, hey, she's gonna charge you for it, you know that, so I'm okay. I'm just going to go,
It's coming off for your pay.
I'll put it on and keep going.
Yeah.
Could you roll me a tracking?
Yes. Where's it? Track. A 16.
Are you moving at speed or with stealth?
Until we've put a certain distance from the field or the Shadow Beast.
Yeah, well, you're pretty sure the shadow spawn is inside the Baron, but yes.
Yeah, no, what I mean is, like, once I think that we're, let's say, out of earshot of the shadow spawn, then we'll pick up speed.
Okay.
But otherwise, and so long as it can see us, maybe we're gonna be stealthy.
Oh, can you roll stealth?
I can roll with a 16.
A 16 is very good. It's a very good roll. That's a very good roll right there. You is very stealthy. Or in this case, actually, Machi is very stealthy, and it seems that even though she was, coughing, choking, couldn't breathe momentarily ago, and was unconscious briefly, she's still got it. She's making her way. And again, making sure that she can be seen by you on occasion, but is leading out a couple yards in front, in and out of your line of vision, but and keeping you guys to the shadows and, well, the shadows of the trees. You're kind of staying away from anything that looks like it might be something else.
Okay.
At this pace, you will make where you remember the homestead being, just farmstead.
Mm-hmm.
In about a couple hours, maybe.
Let's go.
You make your way. By this point, the sun has begun to set. The gloom that's come from Kern is heavier. What light there is seems to be choking as the sun sets. No bright lights and reds and yellows bouncing off of the fallen autumn leaves. No golds and burnished browns. It's all muddled, murky. Vashard, how does it feel to see your home look like this?
Not particularly good. This, of course, being that village whose name I forgot. It's my home.
Well, I mean, I meant the Pavinweald as a whole, not your village.
Oh, the Pavin. Okay, I thought you meant like
no,
we also catch a glimpse of.
No, you're a ways from where you grew up.
Okay. That's not good. Again, the only thing preventing Vashard from doing something incredibly stupid is the fact that he knows that others are relying on him. But he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it one bit. It's not just that Kern is marching through the Pavinweald. It's that they're also causing damage that will probably be permanent.
Probably trees that have older than you, older even probably than the country of Aldous, gone, burned, chopped down to make way for an army on the march. And there's this weight of that dichotomy between knowing that you need to do what is right for your people, but to do so means that you have to stay here, and running to your village and your home and defending them personally, just as that dichotomy becomes a fight within you and you overcome it to stay where you're dependent upon. You come to the tree line of where this small farmstead, just a small, subsistence farming, chickens, a couple geese, well, not geese, ducks, maybe a hog, vegetables, and just enough for the family here. Two women, their 3 children, their 2 other partners, a family of 6. It's dark now. Remind me, does Vashard have night vision?
Do I? Let me see. I have dark sight.
You do have dark sight. There you go.
Up to 20 yards.
Well, the first point is very easy. Number 1, there's no lights. No smoke coming from this farmstead. Number 2, you and Asen can both roll me perception of some sort.
It's gonna be hearing for Asen this time. With a 16.
Ooh, that 16 is very good.
And it's just gonna be flat out eyeballs for me at 13.
Yep. It's quiet. There are a couple things that are real obvious. Number one, you don't hear any chickens or ducks. I mean, it's late enough, but they might be cooped up, but it's not that late. It's not full dark. It's not full night. You don't hear or see any signs of movement. And Asen kind of does one of these. He cocks his head and shifts himself so that he kind of... When it turned dark, Machi stopped leading because she does not have dark sight because she's human. Unlike Vashard. She has pulled herself back. So you're in front. And Asen cocks his head slightly to the side and kind of pushes himself in front of you. Does that shoulder check into your leg that's kind of like, whoa, pay attention, stop.
What's up?
I don't hear anything. I don't smell anything.
I, just in case, because of what happened to Machi earlier, damn, my eyes are dry. Sorry if I keep rubbing them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take point and go see the farmstead.
There's just a simple, basically a picket fence and a basic archway with a, gate. It's not latched. It's closed, but not latched. As you push it open, you just hear... And you realize it breaks the quiet. And that's when you realize what the other part of what Asen is saying. He meant he heard nothing. No night animals, no wyverns cry in the dark, no owls, no rodents. The only sound you hear now is the slight crunch of gravel under your feet and the sound of the gate being pushed open.
I'm going to be very, very quiet.
Are you hunting rabbits?
I'm hunting rabbits.
Would you like to roll me stealth, then?
Because I get the feeling that there is something here 22 6 stun points.
Would you like to do anything with your 6 stun points?
I think I will, because I got 6 stun points.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I have a 22, which is almost the highest I can ever go.
Yeah.
I'll burn 4 of them on the upper hand. So if there's anything, +3 to initiative.
Yes.
And then well, I mean, there isn't really anything else. Because I'm not consuming anything. I'm not doing it quicker because it's not a task that needs to be completed. It's like ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I mean, I'll keep them for advantageous positioning in case I see something or
So
hear.
advantageous position. We can just use advantageous. We'll make a note that you've got advantageous positioning and
And the +3 to initiative.
yeah, upper hand.
Yeah.
So upper hand and advantageous positioning. Cool. Cool. Could you roll me a perception as you move silently in?
13.
You creep your way along, keeping the raised pole roof barn, well, stable maybe is more accurate. Barn, store area. And to your left, the main house, again raised slightly on poles. This is common in the Pavin Weald. Lets certain night creatures not climb into your house without invitation. You see the stairs that would lead up. And you smell it as you come around to start to approach the house. Blood. And a lot of it.
Does it look like the people here left in a hurry?
No. At least
Okay.
not from the farmyard.
But there are no animals.
Nope. But you smell blood.
Let me rephrase. But there are no animal corpses.
Correct. But you smell blood.
All right.
A lot of it.
I'll keep creeping closer to the farmstead itself.
What do you want Machi and Nazen to do?
I would like them to stay. Actually, can I do something?
Yes.
I would give them advantageous positioning.
You can do that.
So I would like them to be in an advantageous position that if shit hits the fan, they can either come to me inside the farmstead or, turn around and face whatever something like springs out of the field or whatnot.
Cool. And as we just see this for story purposes, you gesture scouts, signals to Machi and Nazen to give them the most advantageous position, to let them know that there's something off here. We just see the camera pull up, and above this farmstead you realize there's no moon and there are no stars visible tonight. is just dark and heavy and cold. And silent. Unnaturally silent. But that's where we're going to take the break for the evening. So go ahead, refresh yourselves, get yourself, you know, some snacks, perhaps a couple drinks, because, you know, things might happen. But we're going to see you in a little bit, everybody. Bye. Welcome back, everyone. So as we see the camera pan up above into the black night, here's a question for you, Vashard.
Mm-hmm.
You're making your way towards the house. Up on stilts as it is. Approaching. You come across. You know that smell of blood so much. But you don't see any corpses. No animal corpses, no people corpses. But it smells blood. You make your way up the stairs to this lofted farmhouse. One story. The door. A window. Shutters are closed. Can you roll me perception?
Oh, you mean, am I going to use a conviction point? Uh-huh. I'm gonna go with 18.
Oh, so you're
Thanks
using
for
that
throwing
conviction point. Cool, thank you. I appreciate that. You see the glint. Just the barest glint of the blade. As a figure draws a sword and jumps off the eave of the roof onto the landing where you are. Where you were standing. So you get to roll initiative to see if you can step back out of the way, because you've got that perception, and you get to roll initiative.
Wait, where's my... What the fuck?
What?
My initiative disappeared on my sheet.
What do you mean your initiative disappeared on your sheet? Hold on, where's your sheet?
It is currently 0, but I believe that my initiative was supposed to be bigger than 0. Higher than 0.
Well, your initiative's your dexterity.
Yeah, so it should be 3. Why is it 0?
Oh, wait, hold on.
I mean, I can...
No, it rolled it +3. It just doesn't show it to you. The adjustment is there.
No. Okay. So if I do this, and I do this...
Yeah.
Okay, it works. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's just the box is empty. That's why I forgot.
Yeah, it's just the box is empty. Yes, rolling initiative is a present, Trooper. I love giving this present. I'm going to let you take the 18, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was gonna go with, my 19.
What, you would still get the +3 on the 18.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. 21. I have 21.
I was just saying that you could take the higher of those two rolls. That was it. So you're going to have a 21, and I'm just going to basically give you Nazen and Machi have popcorn, because you're controlling them. You have popcorn initiative for them.
What does that mean?
It means that your round will be at 21, but you can they're basically your NPCs, so treat it like ASIN. They go
Act
on your
my
action.
own turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should be able to hear the music now.
Yeah, my sound on Roll20 is very low. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, Roll20's been a little weird, but okay, so you guys get a 21, and I need to do a thing. Hold on. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. That is... Oh, yay. You guys go first.
All right.
As you just see this black figure jump down from the eave of the roof, very artfully, you know, full wuxia Chinese drama. See the sword, the glint of this, just barely the glint of the sword in the dark with no moon, as it's pointed directly at you as it drifts in quiet flight towards you.
Is this person wearing a skull-like helmet?
You could roll me perception, and it will not be your...
I'll go with a 12.
No, they've got a black mask on and a black... Probably... It looks heavier than leather that you've seen. But it's not glinting like plate mail or something.
All right. And they are clearly after our lives.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just, you know, as I draw my blade, tell them to stand down and we won't hurt you.
Would you like to roll an intimidation?
It's going to be communication for me, regardless. Hey.
So it's this very chilling moment, and this figure is absolutely silent as they swing the blade around to attack you. What would you like Machi and Nazen and Asen to do?
I mean, Asen will go for a go for the leg.
Mm-hmm.
Try to like bite them and drag them away so they just fall down like prone, so we can jump on them.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now I still don't know. It might be like a survivor of the massacre who like is freaking out. So Asen has to move, so he's not going to aim, but he's going to do the bite. A 19.
Asen will bite down on something, but at the same time, you will hear in his immediate reaction to you, Asen releases and almost starts to scream. If a wolf can psychically scream.
Ooh. Like in pain?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That's not natural.
No.
And I think both Machi and Nazen are, the three of us, even with Russ, we've stuck together for long enough that they sort of know Asen anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that if Asen was to react that way, even if he doesn't yell out loud, like they probably know something is wrong. Yeah, Cole has a good question. He screamed after biting down, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He made contact.
And then screamed.
Picture your wolf screaming from the worst possible brain freeze.
If I can just say something as a bonus action to
Yes.
Nazen and Machi, it'll just be Kernish. I think that's all they need to know.
Yep. Machi has pulled both the Kadachi, which she's still wielding left-handed, and another more hooked blade. Not quite a scimitar, but just slightly curved with just a little bit of a hook on the far end. It's very nice. And I'm
Okay, not
on...
like a Shamshir?
No, not like a Shamshir, but the
because it's not a hook sword.
No. It's
just the hook sword has the actual, like it looks like a crowbar.
No. This is just got the little bit of a hook under, so you can just pop armor. Not the full hook, but
Oh, it's like a saber.
Yeah, but
a saber with
a saber with a with closer to a kopesh. But it's an Ottoman weapon from the Second Crusades, I want to say. Don't quote me on this, I've been wrong before. That's designed to
So it's a variant of the scimitar.
Yeah, it's a variant of the scimitar.
Looking at all the Ottoman weapons, they're all like some variation of a scimitar.
Yeah, it's all a variation of that, and it's just got this tiny little.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Yeah, it's
like right here. It just is.
It's not an actual hook. It's like a dent in the blade.
Yeah, it's like a dent in the blade, but this one is a little bit more deepened, so it can actually be almost like a.
The name that I see here is a D-release.
That's the title of, is it DRI?
No. Yeah, no, that's not.
That's the title of that's the Turkish title for Ertugrul. It means resurrection, or at least it's translated as resurrection. I don't know if that means it actually is that.
I would just love for them to actually put the name
of the blade. Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about now.
Yes.
So it's a very, very wonderfully stabby, slashy, hurt you weapon.
Mm-hmm.
But he's very intently wanting to swing it at between your fifth and sixth rib.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, she's using that.
Machi is using that. Sorry,
right.
She's pulled that. I will roll for Nazen because he's gonna try and give you the bonus. Actually, I'm going to use Cecilia's sheet. Come here, Cecilia, and see if she can give you that bonus that she does. Enhancement. Okay. Oh, okay. Which is gonna give you the bonus to strength dexterity based on the roll. And I'm going to just roll to cast the spell. Oh, 12. And we'll just use Cecilia's roll here. 4, 12, and 5 is 17. So with a 17, she can give you a +3 to your strength and dex, and you can divide it how you wish for 10 rounds.
Okay.
So you can get a plus, like it's one of those, a +3 to one of them, or a +2 to one and a +1 to the other.
And it's enhancement. All right.
Enhancement. So that's 10 rounds that that Nazen has cast on you. That is your. Oh, and Asen, or you got Asen. You've got Machi is moving towards you. Can you roll me a perception for Machi?
Absolutely. 11.
She's going to, you see her have started to move towards you, but at the last second she's going to spin and turn and bring the Kadachi in her left, again, holding backwards in her left wrist, in her left arm, up to block in front of Nazen as another of these individuals pops out from behind the tree line behind you.
Okay. Got me. Nazen is going to...
Nazen cast enhancement on you. That was his turn.
Oh, no, okay, sorry. And Machi attacked, so everyone played.
Well, Machi's defended. Yeah, she hasn't attacked yet, but she's moved so that she saw. Now, does she want her to attack?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll swordsmanship.
Sorry, I thought her turn was over because she
No.
moved and did the perception.
Perception I don't count as a... Perception is a minor action at most, so I can take away your aim.
She has like the same attack roll as I do.
Yeah, we're just using your stats for attacks, just to make it easier.
Can she spend conviction?
She's your NPC. If you want to spend your conviction for your NPC, you can.
How much conviction do we still have from chat?
You have 3 from the kindness of chat.
Then we'll burn 1 from chat and have a 15 instead of an 11.
And a 15 will just hit.
Cool, because that gives her 3 stun points.
Cool.
Which is awesome. Because she's going to use that to do a lightning attack.
Mm-hmm. So roll the damage on the first one.
Yeah, what damage would it be though?
Just your regular sword damage.
But she doesn't fight with a two-handed sword.
It doesn't matter mathematically.
Oh, okay.
I'm not worrying
All
about
right.
it. I'm not.
No
I did it this way so that I could make my life easier, Simon.
Okay. So 9 for the first
9.
one.
Yes.
And her second attack will be a 12.
A 12 is not going to hit.
Okay.
And she will hit, and you'll hear, breaking the silence, this darkness, this grating sound of a blade against metal, that shearing sound of when, like, nails on a chalkboard.
But they didn't look armored,
No.
were they?
They did not.
I don't like that.
It's their turn.
Yeah, apparently.
Cool. Do. Oh, I was typing and it didn't work, sorry. Does an 18 hit you, Vashard, as this guy kind of swings the blade around, very little circles, small, very tight circles to come in and a fast attack at you.
The 18 will hit.
Cool. And I do have stunt points. I have 4 stunt points. Oh. Let me double check something. So they are going to use Pierce Armor. And then to get through your armor. And they are going to do 10 points of damage. That
Pierce is half.
That pierces half of your armor.
Round up, round down.
Round up.
Okay, so you said 10?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be 8.
So that's the attack on you, and then the attack on Machi is going to be a 10, which is not going to get through anybody's armor.
How many of them are there?
Just two. You see just
Okay.
2.
All right.
You and Asen have 1, Machi and Nazen have the other.
The other. All right. Okay. Now,
Your turn.
well then, seeing how they don't want to talk, you're gonna have to remind me. It's we're allowed 1 major, 1 minor.
1 major, 1 minor, and a move.
Okay.
And
So-
you can dash as a minor or a major action.
No, that's okay. It's just basically Asen wants to help.
Asen wants to help. Asen helps well.
So
Hashtag
he's
MVP
gonna,
Bubber.
he's gonna do aid ally because, like hell, he's gonna try to bite again.
Mm-hmm.
And as his minor action, Asen will guard up.
Okay.
So, and give himself a +2 to defense, but a -2 to everything else until the next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you must do it before any major action.
Okay, so he guards up and then he gives...
It doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, the order doesn't really meh. So, I will aim and attack the person in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives me an additional +3 because of the help and the aim.
Yep.
Though I just clicked aim, so that shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to use a point of conviction. Thank you,
Wait, so
chat.
it's but an additional +3, right?
No, it would be an additional +2.
A 2 on top of this 11, correct?
Yes.
So you're still going to use a point of conviction to reroll?
Yes.
Okay. And
It's going to be the same, so fuck it. It's going to be 13.
You are down, by the way, to 1 conviction from the kindness of chat. Just letting you know.
Yep. But does a 13 hit?
13 will not.
Okay.
As they just kind of, you aim and they just, again, that very dancer, wuja moment, and just shift their entire body as we would see the camera from their perspective as the blade just kind of goes in front of them, and as you pull back, they shift themselves back to in front of you.
All right. And then I will...
Wait, did you add your bonus from Nazen's enhancement?
Oh, no.
It was a +3 that you could split between Dex or Strength, or just
Yeah,
use
but-
on one.
It would be all on strength,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't matter for the attack because it uses the fighting skill. So I would do more damage if I were to hit, but I still don't hit.
Okay.
And that's going to be it for me.
Okay. So Nazen and Machi.
Yeah. I'm not hurt enough for Mazen to run to me.
Yep.
I don't know what kind of spell Nazen has, but I figured he
Nazen
would
is
try to...
basically healers and support caster. He has some damage, but not a lot.
Then he's going to help,
Yeah.
aid ally on Machi.
He's gonna aid Machi, give her the +2,
And she's going to aim
and attack.
and strike.
Okay, so +3 to this, or +2 to this, so 14 will hit.
Okay, so now I know I need a 14.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll use her 3 stun points to make a lightning attack.
Yep.
So first of all, damage, she's gonna deal 12, and her second attack's gonna be a 16, and she's gonna deal 21. Which, holy shit, that's the maximum.
Yes.
That I can reach.
You hear again that grating sound of a blade on metal, and you see actual sparks start to come off the blade.
Wait, repeat that? I was chewing and it was louder
You
than
see,
you.
like, a metal strike plate. Sparks start to come off the blade as Machi.
Okay. So they're
strikes.
wearing armor under their clothes.
Possibly.
Okay.
It's their turn. And the individual in front of you does not pay attention to Asen. You are the weapon and attacked, and there might be other reasons, but you are the one that it will come at. With the blade again.
Or come at me, brah.
A 15?
Yeah, 15 hits.
Yeah. For 13 points of damage. Ooh, and he has 5 stunt points, so
Oh, Jesus.
he's gonna do a lightning attack against you.
Okay. And what would the 2 other?
Uh,
Because lightning is 3.
Yeah, ooh, yeah. Lightning attack is 3, and then... Oh, Pierce Armor is 2, so he's gonna have your armor.
Okay.
So the first attack is pierced.
Yeah. So minus 12. Okay.
Yeah, so halved. So 13 halved. And then the second attack is 13, which doesn't hit.
Uh, 13 hits.
13 does hit. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Oh,
I
yeah,
only have
'cause
a dex of 3.
Yeah, there you go. That's what your AC is. There you go. For 12.
But this one doesn't have.
This one does not have.
Okay. Ah, no, shit. Crap. 47 minus 7, 40. Oof. Jesus, I typed in 60. That's why.
Yeah, that would not be the amount of damage that was done. And then the individual next to Machi and Nazen is going to do something. is going to do a sing, and then you will see what happens, and then from there you will make your determination about what you want to do next. But I need my... here. Oh, yeah. Mm. 16 to hit Machi as the sword kind of spins around and this figure pushes their hand out and grabs on to the side of Machi's neck. And then you just see, by the way, this goes straight through armor. This spark of life, just Machi grows pale, and the hand on her neck looks cold and glowing, iridescent, even gloved in black as it is. And then they let go and kind of step. It's one of those they grab on. You see this moment, this draw upon them, and then they step back and reposition with the blade up again.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Is Machi still alive?
I mean, yes.
Okay, so it's not like...
But she looks pale. It don't look good.
Well, Nazen's gonna take care of her.
Mm-hmm. Is that what you would like him to do first?
Yeah.
Which is, we're gonna just use, again, we're keeping just rolling Cecilia's to...
Yeah, that works.
He is just gonna run around, move up to next to her and put his hand, his non-sword hand, his left hand on her. And then I'm just going to use this. 4, 8, 11. Hits the 11. Yeah. And, you see her just kind of for a moment. But the Kadachi in guard position and the curved hooked scimitar in the circle 4 almost is steadier and less shaky.
Okay, good.
What would you like Machi to do?
She's going to try to end this person's life as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. With a 14.
Hits.
For 13 damage.
You hear again that scratch and pierce and then a pop. And I need you to roll a... just... No, actually, I'll do it. I'll do it for both. Yeah, for both of them. With a 10. Who do you want to take the explosion damage? Bless you.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, Kitan. No, but I also woke up the cat. Purely logically, Nazen is behind Machi.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say if only one of them would have to take the brunt of the damage, it would have to be Machi.
Okay, so we're gonna see Machi pierce through this, still has her guard up, pulls back, sees this moment of something, like a half-second moment of something gone wrong, and just enough movement to spin and shove Nazen to the ground. But she's going to take 14 points of damage as from shrapnel. She's a little messed up, but she's still, armor definitely helped in that. What would you like to do? You and Asen.
Again, Asen help.
Mhm.
Me going to try to do something useful. Aim and strike
16
for
hits.
16. 16 damage.
You have a moment to try and dodge.
As that thing is about to explode.
Yeah, you just hear it. As your weapon makes contact.
I mean, I am going to dodge.
I mean,
what do I need to roll?
and you know it because it's almost like when you that feeling of resistance when you puncture like a balloon of water. You know the minute you pull the blade out, it's going to.
Yeah. So what's the roll for that?
Just straight dex.
Straight dex. Oof,
Unless you want to make a big argument. Ooh, but a 14? 14 means you can get some cover. You will take half.
Okay.
Of 10.
Does my armor count?
I'll say it will half. So you'll take like 3 total damage.
Okay. Ow. As I'm blown away, well...
You're still on
yeah,
the landing of
pushed
the
back,
loft. Yeah. Lofted farmhouse.
And the other one also is, dead.
Both of these figures are no longer present.
I'll immediately go for Nazen and Machi. You're all still in one piece?
Machi moves slowly, is kind of standing up and is doing that half lying, half leaning over on her arms on top of Nazen, and just like takes her finger and pokes him in the forehead. I didn't think I hit him that hard. And then you just see Nazen go, you didn't, but I didn't want to really open my eyes. It's a very... I mean, I can. It's a very nice view from here. And she just kind of, like, flicks him in the middle of the forehead as she gets up. Ow! Vashard! She's abusing me! This is healer abuse.
Less whining, more figuring out what's going on here. We don't know if anybody else is here.
Alright. Do you think anyone else is alive?
Let's go see, but I doubt anyone is still left alive. It smells bad in there.
These are new ropes.
Then wait for us outside.
Good. I'll stay with the smart one. And then he just walks over and just starts like petting Asen, like right behind the ear, and be like talking to him like, "You're the only intelligent one here. You're obviously the smartest person." And
I'll go in with Machi instead.
I mean, he is wearing white.
So,
You walk up the stairs to that farmhouse. Again, the window shutters are closed. The doors is closed. You push open the door, and for you, you can see it immediately. Machi can't quite see in the dark, so she can't.
okay.
It looks like an abattoir. There's blood everywhere. And yet, you see 4 bodies laid out perfectly, almost military straight on the floor. Two women, 2 men. One, Vata'an male. His hair pulled back and tight. Just laying out as if somebody had taken time. When somebody takes the time to remove bodies from a natural disaster or a hospital. But the blood is almost artfully decorating the walls, the floor. And it smells.
How were they killed?
You'd have to walk in and you'd have to investigate it. It would be an intelligence. What is it? Oh, I'm blanking.
Well, I have no idea.
No, a 7 is enough in this case. Because you realize they're all wearing clothes? And they're probably their clothes. They look very, homespun, utilitarian, not fancy dress, or they're all wearing their clothes, but the minute you get close to them, you can see there are no injuries on the clothes, but there's blood on them, as if it's soaked through. As if they were redressed afterwards.
They still have all their limbs?
Mm-hmm. Everything's just military straight. Their arms at their sides, their legs together. Eyes closed. Heads there.
And the animals? Are they in there too?
No.
Okay.
All you see in here are 4 adults. 3 humans, 1 male Vata'an. 2 male, 2 female. Somewhere between 30 and 40, maybe. Or at least that's what they look like in the dark.
We're gonna light some light. I mean, we kind of have to, if we want to see properly.
Machi is Well, roll
Like-
me willpower self-discipline.
14.
I'm not going. You have your. This is your own choice of how you choose what you choose to do. You are not overwhelmed by this, but it doesn't. But however you choose to react is your reaction. You're still in control. It's just
I don't get it.
you're like, for example, Machi has this moment where she just kind of goes, breathes really deeply as if she's trying not to throw up, but she manages to keep control. But
Okay.
it's the you passed. You can decide what you did or didn't do.
Oh, okay. I think it would just be like a gag and we were too late.
I think they knew we were coming.
Maybe not. They might just travel faster. Faster than us.
Vashard, if they're running faster than us through hill and dale, that's not natural.
No, it's not.
That's not natural.
Oh, and the Shadow Baron wasn't natural either.
Yeah.
Something's helping them.
Can I vote that we don't engage with creepy shadow smoky bits, weird frickin' stabby folk who blow up and biting hurts Asen?
That's our job. As envoys, not envoys, but as the members of the Sovereign's finest,
No, your title,
It is-
you were correct. Their title is Envoy.
Yeah. It is our duty. We swore an oath to oppose the forces of Kern everywhere they could be. And that includes shadowy tentacles and exploding assassins. Wherever they are. We should have been here first. Hell, if Russ was with us, we could have just asked them to go and warn them. I can't believe Kern is faster than a bird. Look,
Our job sucks sometimes, you know that?
yeah. But we're the only thing right now standing between the free folks down south and the marauding hordes of Kern coming to take everything from us. And by everything, I mean everything. It's not just a marching army. They're monsters. They hold, and I show the bodies, nothing sacred. They hate life itself. So yes, we're going to fight. And the only reason we didn't fight the big shadowy thing in the field earlier is because there's 3 of us, and I think we would need to be 15 to take on them. We can party all we want once this is done. Once Kern is dealt with, we won't have to worry about anything. But right now, if we don't worry, we despair.
Is this everyone who lives here?
I count the bodies again, there's 6 of them.
There are 4 adults.
But no children.
No children.
We're missing the children.
I'll look over here. You can roll perception. Perception tracking probably in this case would make sense.
Yeah?
I mean, there'll be a shit ton of footprints in here because it's a big old mess.
Yeah, but we can probably, I mean, we fought on the porch.
Mm-hmm.
They fought a bit farther away. Like, tracks might be muddy, like, if they cross where we fought, but, like, after that, it should be.
No, I meant inside, because, you know, there's a whole lot of blood. You have 1 conviction point left.
Yeah, we're gonna burn it, and we're gonna roll a 12.
For a 12, you and Machi work slowly, working your way through. It takes maybe 5, 10 minutes. You find the chicken and ducks first. Kind of laid out in the kitchen area of this main room. Neatly across the counter workspace. All of them. But all decapitated and drained as if just to add more blood to this space. But then Machi will, and you both find a wardrobe that isn't in the right. It isn't right place. It's almost like it slid 3 feet.
Is it closed?
Yep.
You're safe now.
There's no verbal response, but you can hear just the slightest movement behind. You're pretty sure that someone else moved this wardrobe.
I will get closer, but like gently, slowly. And like move the closet, like move it a bit. The wardrobe, just to see if like is someone pulling on it, like trying to keep it where it is, or like because they're hiding behind it, or if I start moving it, does it also feel super heavy because there's a bunch of children hiding inside?
As you start to move it, there isn't resistance from the weight or from somebody holding it. It almost is just that it's that heavy, and you're pretty sure, like, someone, you can hear movement behind it, just the slightest bit of movement behind it, and you're almost positive somebody else moved the wardrobe in front from the outside, based on the marks you see on the floor.
Okay. I'm gonna open it.
The wardrobe?
Yeah.
It's a You open it. There are 3 shelves on top. There's a pull. There are a bunch of clothes mixed.
Okay, just checking.
There's a wall. And it's taller than you are, and it almost just barely, like, there's an inch of clearance above you.
Okay.
It's just that it's a big, heavy object.
Yeah, I'll just move it. And you said there was something.
You hear the sound of movement behind it.
Yeah, so I'll keep moving it with Machi and
Yeah,
then
Machi's
take a look behind it.
Machi is there. As you push this wardrobe away, there are 2 children, a boy and a girl, both under the age of somewhere between 8 and, somewhere between 6 and 8. And they are staring at you. The older boy is kind of standing slightly in front of his sister, but you can tell that you don't need a roll. This kid is terrified.
It's okay. We're not bad people. They're gone.
Can you go ahead and roll me persuasion, and I'll give you a +2. Because you did turn on the lights.
Well, brought one source of light. It's gonna be 15.
He seems to kind of... It's not that he trusts... He's willing to be persuaded, right? You realize, you look down, that he's gripping in both of his hands as he's kind of sitting slightly in front of his sister, probably one of his mother's rolling pins. And is just kind of like holding it. But you can tell, just looking at this kid, he has no idea what to do with this. He would have besides, but has no training. He has no ability to do anything with this except, be a little kid pretending to hit something. And he slowly lowers it and nods. He goes, "It was really loud."
It's going to be okay. You're going to be safe now.
Okay.
I'm gonna look around the room. Are there any windows?
They've kind of got there's this big open 1-room, basically 2-room farmhouse. So there was a bedroom section. Then that had an actual wall from the main room, and there was like a little dividing curtain for where the kids were and then where the parents' bedroom area was. There's a window there, and then there was a window to the right of the main door in the main bedroom, in the main room. Both had wooden shutters, and both open out onto the landing of the walking up to this lofted farmhouse.
Just I want to get them out of here without moving them by the bodies.
You can get them out the bedroom window.
Yeah. At worst, I'll ask Machi to, her and Nazen go around and I'll lift the kids out. They can take them,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll tell the kids, we have to stay quiet, but we're gonna be safe. We just can't go through the door at the moment.
Okay. Machi has, when you started having this conversation, she kind of stepped around and out to the door and whistled loudly twice. Because she is very aware that to let Nizen and Asen know that they were needed up here. Nizen will come to the landing window and wait for you to hand the two kids through. The little girl has decided that Asen is the best thing in the world. Also, she gonna be riding Asen. Sorry, it's hers now. Puppy is hers now.
I figure Asen's big enough to have both of them.
Yes, but at the same time, it's hers now. She saw a pretty puppy and was like, "Ooh, puppy," and her brother was definitely entranced by the dog, but is old enough to make some connections and realizations. Regardless of what she might not, but he is kind of aware of what happened.
Yes. I just don't want to say anything out loud. Because, it is not final until, well, it's not final until they see the bodies normally, but at the very least, it's not final-ish until you acknowledge that they're dead.
Yeah.
And I don't want to traumatize them.
Nizen has, the minute you reached the landing and were starting to hand the kids, had started to be, focused on doing two things. One, kind of trying to do a quick medical glance of them while engaging them with small, just talk. And to distract them, kind of things is like, oh, I don't usually get children handed through windows at me. This is a very unique experience. I think I like this experience. Oh, with a 20, the kids are diligently distracted, and he will, make eye contact with you as he places them both on. It's like, and this is my friend Asen. He is the best. Literally. Just look at him. Feel his ears. He's got such sweet ears. Just, right there. And, the kids are fully as much as the little boy didn't want to be, he is still going to be distracted. More at the, is this guy for real? And he kind of looks back to you a couple times like, is he really this much of an idiot all the time? No, this can't be real. Okay. But Nizen will make eye contact with you and basically just give you that look of there's nothing wrong with them. They are physically damaged.
All right. I'll, try to take Nazen and Machi aside a little. We're making for the front.
We can't leave them alone.
No, and I do not want them in any more danger.
Well, I figure, even though... figure the Knights of the Rose and the Alden army are a big enough target, we can't miss them.
Yeah.
Alright. And he just kind of gives you that nod and goes back to talking to the kids, keeping them focused, distracted. And when Machi comes to you and just whispers, I don't think we're gonna be able to bury them.
No.
Lamp oil or the wine?
That's what I was thinking. Given that, Machi, you are... oh, no, wait, 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Might not actually need lamp oil. I'm going to use sorcery.
Vashard is going
No,
to
I'm
use
kidding.
sorcery?
I don't have any sorcery. I'm not like that. I'm not a bad person.
Oh.
No, but I do have something that would probably allow us to somewhat bury them. Give me just a sec. I have to remember all of that.
Yep, go right ahead. Checking your stats and things is important.
We don't have a whole lot of time. So what we'll do is we'll get the bodies out. They have a field, right? A farm field?
A small one. It's more like they hadn't cleared enough acreage to, do like...
Is it big enough to have 4 people lying down in it?
Yeah, I mean, you've got a glorified vegetable garden.
Okay, good. We're gonna put them in the vegetable garden, and I'll use plant growth to cover them in thick undergrowth. And we're gonna set fire to that.
Okay.
It's the closest I can find to burying them, and, well, their bodies will just... Actually, no, we'll just leave it at that. We're not gonna burn them. Fire and smoke is gonna attract attention.
Oh, you're right.
So I'll just wrap them in undergrowth and everything, and like the bodies will decompose and feed the plants over time.
And you leave. It takes a couple minutes once you've moved the bodies. You and Machi are moving the bodies as Mizen is distracting the children from your task. And you make your way south to the front. Could you roll me Constitution Stamina?
Okay, I think there was there's a delay in what's happening, because Trooper just wrote about me, or is it because Trooper didn't write beforehand? But yes, that was definitely a dig at Cecilia and Ritka. It's like but you have to understand. Out of game, I'm doing it as a jest. All in good fun.
In-game, Vashard honestly believes it.
In-game, that's the thing, especially at this time, 3 years ago. Yeah, that's what Vashard believes. And,
well, you saw it in season 1. It takes a while for him to come to terms with the fact that Ritka.
No delay, you just spilled water and had to dry.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, it took a while for him to come to grip with the fact that Ritka might not be a bad person. But that said, you asked me to roll something, and now I forgot because of the
Constitution stamina.
Uh,
Yes, which officially in canon is Constitution Wikiface. There we go.
no, I'm going to use a point of my own conviction.
No. Well, no. Okay, you can use that. I was just going to see if you get if they get fatigued moving.
Oh.
Yeah, this is narrative. It's not. You don't have to worry about. Don't spend conviction for this. This is.
I thought you meant for the spell that I was casting. That's
no. That would be a fatigue check. This is Constitution stamina because you are now leading 2 small children stealthily over hill country through the woods, trying to avoid an army, to get to an army as best as possible and fast as possible. You will be tired when you get there. You make contact with when you finally get to the front, you see the pennant banners, white with a large blue rose trimmed in silver, the banners of the Knights of the Blue Rose. Their armor shining in what little sunlight you can still see. But you and Machi and Nazen have all made it. You've all survived. And these 2 kids have made it. But you can hear the sounds of the army moving. It's loud. You also hear slightly in the distance sounds of combat and battle as you and your squadron are quickly ushered to a infirmary tent to be checked and away from the front. The kids are taken. You hear the full orders being shouted, commands being given. They are to press today. Today they will press Kern back through the Icebinder Mountains. In the name of Queen Jahil, you will do so.
Oh, I report to my superior goal. But they're in Aldous, not here. And
there is a envoy messenger courier attached to the army to ensure that information can be sent.
Because I was going to say, because I can't connect telepathically with other people.
No.
That's Russ's job.
No, there is an envoy with psychic contact embedded for the moment with the army to ensure that there's communication can be sent from the army to at least the first envoy so that information can be shared and movements can be shared appropriately. Your information will be taken. It's useful. It becomes important. People know about these shadow assassins that explode and scream in psychic pain and can drain the very life with a touch. People know about this shadow spawn and a baron developed in the middle of the Pavan Weald. And can you roll me a perception, please? As you are giving your... Ooh, 13.
A 13.
Just as you're, leaving the tent from the envoy of the Sovereign's finest communication array, basically. You look out to where the tree line is. You see something move in the tree line. Tall, riding a black horse, mask of a skull, and their face is entirely covered, but you just know they're smirking at you. And not at the army as a whole, but at you, Vashard.
Right.
What do you do?
Wait, did you say everyone's looking at me?
No. This knight on a horse that you can just barely see beyond the tree line. He's not smirking at the army as a whole. He's smirking at you. And you know it. Even if you can't see his face.
I do this with my hands. Does he have a skull helmet?
Yeah, he's wearing a skull mask and you can see it. And he's smirking at you, even though you can't see his face. Because, mask. But
I just, look at him and think, I still have my psychic shield up, but
yeah.
in my mind, I just say, I will get you in season 2.
And on that meta comment, the camera pans upwards and upwards above this point where the Pavan Weald meets the plains of Aldous. We see the clouds pass by, and then we see that wonderful animated point where the passage of time is given by this high-speed motion of, time-lapse camera of the clouds in the same positioning. And we focus back downward, and we're back with Vashard and Delme and Ritka and Russ and Cecilia as they're making their way with their interesting companions to the city of Aldous. And Vashard, you are at that same point, that same clearing, that same opening between the tree line and the plain country where you saw that knight, that mask 3 years ago. You've now seen it more than once as Ritka had hers, and you felt the tie from her mask to Lady Talus, and that mark on your chest, right under that bite that she gave you, that ties to her. And you just see this after image of where that hazy image where present and past superimpose on one another. And you see that figure in the skull mask smirking at you, and you think, did she know about me beforehand? Did that knight say anything to her about me 3 years ago?
and then I become a vampire, right?
Not yet. You still have 4. You get 4 total opportunities to save. And that's where we're going to end for this little flashback tonight. Thank you, Simon, for being here. Wonderful. Thank you, chat, for being so wonderful and here. Simon, tell us where we can find you this week and share all the good things.
I am Simon at Wandering DM. Thank you, Deirdre, for having me tonight. You can find me not tomorrow, because like 2/3 of my players are gone. This week is going to be a strange week for streaming because of the 4th of July and all that. So a lot of people going on vacation and whatnot. But I will be over on Cyberpunk Uncensored on Wednesday for our monthly Cyberpunk game where I play the ex-cop Ace, who is an absolute monster. And then on Thursday, we're going to play some Sentinels of the Multiverse. If you are interested in seeing something along the lines of, well, Avengers, or the entire MCU, or actually, the game looks a lot more like Falcon and the Winter Soldier for now, which is amazing. And we are closing in like the introduction to the game. So if you want to get in on all of that, this week would be like an ideal jumping point. Then on Friday, it'll be our the finale of season 4 of Cyberpunk, our second to last season, and it's going to probably be a shit show. The group has angered a lot of people that has a lot of guns, and the group is hunkered down in the marina, and yeah, nothing can end without violence. Like it's over. Lines were drawn. So
And
we'll see.
lines were drawn, and Trins thought it would be appropriate to make sure that people were appropriately prepared in armament, so she made a bunch of Molotov cocktails that were napalm. Because you can.
Yes.
And then gave them to people who could throw them.
And then Saturday we'll be back for we might not actually, because I'm was told that there is such a thing as July 4th. Me being a stranger from an exotic land, so we might not play Scion this weekend. But then week after, everything regular streaming schedule comes back. So Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday here when we reprise season 2.
And just to make sure everybody is aware, season 2 of Romance of the Blue Rose will begin on Sunday, July 18th. So we have plenty of time to prepare for such things. However, for me, hey all, you know me, I'm at Deirdre on Twitter, or practically Orthesmia4, you see me around here on Twitch. Will be here on Wednesday for the season finale, the series finale of Starblade Battalion Memories for Mechton. We did not have a winner last week in our Mechton PDF giveaway, so we will be giving away 2 copies of the Mechton Zeta Core Rulebook and the Mechton Zeta Plus Rulebook on Wednesday. I will just give you this mini spoiler that I told my players that they should review Mech Combat for next week.
Because that's how you end a wedding.
Well,
it's not sarcasm like that. That's just how it should be.
I mean, if we even get to the wedding, there were things that happened last week that means that possibly the wedding might not happen. If you didn't see last week's episode, check out the VOD. They're on YouTube. We really appreciate everybody watching over on YouTube. I read all the comments. We love you and appreciate you all the time. But yes, finale of Mekton on Wednesday. Sometime this week I have to get with Alyssa. We're going to try and do Cecilia's one shot because unfortunately she was sick last week, so we couldn't do it. But we'll try and get that done. But Romance of the Blue Rose comes back Sunday, July 18th. Season 2 of Witcher, Roads Home, begins Wednesday, July 21st. There are so many secrets, y'all. But thank you all for being here. Thank you all for playing. You can also see me Friday hanging over as we totally don't die because Trends was prepared and, you know, was like, ooh, explosives. And then gave them to a bunch of people to blow for other people to blow up. So I will see you next time. But why don't we should see if we can raid somebody. I should do that. I should do that. Thank you for that follow, Soon Raccoon. I appreciate it. Let's see. Who is still up tonight? Who is
I have Jess.
Jess is up, and oh well, I would say either Jess or Johnny. We haven't raided Johnny in a couple weeks. We should raid Johnny this week.
Then let's go.
But we're gonna go raid Johnny. Have a good one, everybody. Bye bye.